welcome home to the former heavyweight champion of the world, Bermane, beware, Stiverne. Brother, welcome home. How are you?
Thank you for that introduction.
Yeah, I always thought I could be. I always thought I could be a Michael Buffer, But
Yeah,
how are you, brother?
that's good. I'm excellent. I'm great.
So
Doing great. Feeling
before I
great.
before I start this interview, I've got to do this in reverse. And I first of all got to say thank you to you for many things, right? First of all, I want to thank you for asking this young, at the time, young man who wanted to do interviews and get to know about all the boxes. You were one of the first I approached, and you said, "Yep, I'll give you a shot." And you let me do an interview. I think the first thing you did was when you were going to fight Arreola the first time. And I remember watching your fights thinking, this guy could go on to be heavyweight champion of the world. So we got the first, and I remember you doing the first fight of Arreola. And I remember them talking about you doing the rematch. And of course, that fateful night, you became WBC heavyweight champion of the world. So that was a fantastic moment. First Haitian heavyweight champion of the world, and a crowning moment. And nobody can ever take that away from you. So from that point, so we followed you into the Wilder fight. Then we followed you into the rematch with Wilder as well. That was again another amazing moment because we followed you and we were with you right up to almost fight night when you fought Wilder. Another amazing moment. I mean, I know how many people that were really tuning in for that fight, or really wanted to cheer you on, and like even it didn't go your way that night. I remember how people felt, and I remember how people felt, and they get back to me, and obviously the way you lost to Wilder was quite shocking to us all because obviously the way the first fight went and everything. And then okay, you pick yourself up again, and I remember you came to England again, another amazing moment for myself, selfishly because you came to fight Joe Joyce, but that allowed me to see what a fighter goes through when they travel from abroad. They come and they have to do make the way and all these things. The fighter interview where you were there sitting there talking with behind the scenes, then rolling up fight night and all the issues that were that as well. For me being able to get into the arena, we got into the arena together, and then walking into the arena, having the cameras on you as you enter the arena, and then seeing the Showtime sign come up, and and then the ring walk, and obviously again it wasn't your night against Joe Joyce, but that's beside the point. Again, it was just great to be with you, not just from a boxing standpoint, but from a brotherly standpoint, and even the time we shared together when we were out in London. I really appreciate all that. I want to say thank you to you. And even again with the Trevor Bryant fight, again, thank you for the opportunity to be able to do that, have that interview with you as well, cheering you on. And I just want to say thank you for all of those times, for all of the access, because you know what? Not many men would have allowed me and allowed BWTM Sports to get the access that you gave us. So I want to say thank you to you, brother, because people take things for granted. I want to say to you, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. And on behalf of the viewers of BWTM Sports, thank you, Mr. Stavern.
Uh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you around. Must have been that Caribbean connection.
Yeah, people are probably going to ask the question why I'm not on camera. I don't know what YouTube is doing tonight, but my face doesn't even fit on the screen. So what we've done is just make sure that I'm not the focus. Bermane Stiverne is the focus, and of course we were coming back after a while. Yeah, so where do we catch up from? I know that obviously I went to Nigeria for 3 years plus and did my work, my academy in Nigeria, which you know about. So what's been going on with your life? What's been going on with Main Savern?
uh, what's been going on with me? Nothing really. I mean, for some it might be something, but Nothing for me. Just around, taking care of myself. Always stay around. You know, the boxing world. You know, not I haven't been to so many fights physically, but I don't. I'm not a person that likes to watch boxing. I'm weird like that, so I don't really know
You know
what's
what?
going on in the world. In the world of boxing, I'm not the first to know anything. If I know something, it's because somebody told me. Unless it's a friend that fights, or somebody that's close, or But other than that, when it comes to just watching boxing, there's some of my fight. I would say maybe most of my fight I haven't watched. So, you know,
You know, another person said exactly the same thing to you. It must be a heavyweight thing. I remember sitting down having dinner with Derek Chisora, and he said exactly the same thing. He don't watch his fights. He don't watch the rankings. He just knows about his fights, and he knows who's fighting. That's all he cares about. Why is that from a fighter? Why do fighters take that approach?
I have
Is
no
it like,
idea. Probably if the the many times I watched the fight, it was probably when I was in the dressing room getting ready to fight, and I would look at the monitor and watch a fight. That's probably the only time I would like watch a fight. Other than a few fighters, I would watch. We had that Floyd Mayweather saga with the HBO deal and the Showtime. I would
yeah,
watch. I would attend. I would attend also. You know, um, there was other fighters I would watch as well. But what one thing I will say is the I become old school. I like to watch the old fights, such as
hmm
Tyson, Sugar Robinson. The old fights. I'm into watching. You know, the reruns. So is TV, television. I don't watch TV. If you see me watching TV, it's because I'm watching something that was like a show or a movie that was in the
old school.
'90s or '80s. Yeah, old school
Yeah,
movies, old
yeah.
school shows.
I'm still
Uh,
there with that as well.
I, I have something with television today. There's nothing that's productive or that would that you can learn nowadays. So I stay away from it.
What's been looking back? What's been your biggest takeaway from being a professional boxer?
Take it away as far as
Learning things you maybe could have done better,
uh
things that you not
I
in
mean,
regret, but maybe just things you think you could have done better. Obviously, defeats are. I mean, oh, I could have done this better, but just general things that you think you could have maybe done better or differently.
how many time we got?
Okay,
Oh my God.
generalize it, generalize it, generalize it, generalize it.
Generalizing. Probably I would say trusting my instinct or my the
Gut
way I
feeling.
felt the way I felt at that moment. Should have carry on more about how I felt and what I wanted at that time. Um, you know, I think the biggest regret is to do something and then you fail doing it because you made that decision. But when you fail doing something because you were listening or following others, that's a bit, you know, It's not as
I hear that. Not the same.
I would have rather failed doing something that I chose to do. It would have set. I would have. It would have been. It would have been better for me to say that, you know what, I did that, so I can live with it. But as far as this, uh, taking decision, taking decisions on, other people's behalf, or trusting a certain type of people, um, you know, I would have preferred, I would have preferred hit a wall because I decided to try to go through the wall.
I get it. So you make you ownership, being accountable for your own
Yeah,
actions rather than somebody else
yeah.
saying you should do this and you following them, and then saying to yourself, you know what, I don't agree with that, but I'll do it anyway. And then you find out, you know what, I shouldn't have done this. I really shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, yeah, I would have been at ease with it if it was 100% me, or even if I would have had more of an influence, or you know,
Let me throw things. Let me throw. It doesn't have to be your career, but I can imagine a situation with any particular fighter taking a fight knowing that they're injured, but thinking they can get through the fight with an injury and concealing that when they feel themselves, you know what, I shouldn't be in this ring, but I'm injured. However, I'm going to take this fight anyway because I'm getting paid money anyway, and I can get through. I can fiddle through this fight with this injury, for example. And your gut's telling you, don't take this fight. Forget the money. You can make it another time. That would be sort of like an example like that.
no, that happened to me once, where uh, I believe I could have beat beaten that fighter, and I was injured. Actually, that happened to me twice, and I believe I could beat that fighter. But the truth is, I could have beaten that fighter if I was 100%. But we always got the same. Sometimes we say, "Oh, I could fight these two guys in one night and win this, that."
Yeah, yep, yep, yep.
Stuff like that. So my mentality was, even if I'm hurt, this guy can never beat me. And but the truth is, yeah, you could beat the guy, but you gotta be prepared, and be 100%. Um, at the time, my mentality was this way.
Now,
Yeah, you could be a better fighter than that fighter, but if you don't come prepared, it doesn't mean that you're going to beat them.
so let me pause you there on that point. And this is not you personally, because every time I do interviews, I try and educate the public on general things in boxing. So when they talk about a fighter being professional, does that come into it if you're injured going into the fight, knowingly knowing that you're injured going into a fight? And then people have paid money to see the 100% version of you, and you come in at 70, 60, 70%. Would
I,
you say in, go ahead.
I I done it again because I did it and it worked. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well,
I've
because
done it
okay, so that all right,
because I've
so
done
then
it, but that
go on.
happened more like at the end of my career. Like, okay, for instance, the first fight with Arreola,
Yep.
I was injured. I was injured, and it worked. I won. Then we fought the second time. I won, and then I got injured, and later on in my career, and then my mind was like, hey, you know what? It worked. It worked before. It worked before, and I won.
So I'll do it
So
again.
so I'll do it again.
Let me hold
You
you
know,
right there to that point. Let me hold you to that point. Daniel Dubois recently, I'm sure you heard about Daniel Dubois having a party or a gathering before his fight against Alexander Usyk. He had a gathering beforehand, and he actually walked to the arena from. Yeah, he walked into the arena, and he couldn't enter the arena because apparently his father said, with all the people that hangers on that night, apparently he wouldn't. The father said, if the hangers on or those people who weren't allowed into the arena, if they don't come into the arena, Daniel can't, will not fight for the will not defend his heavyweight championship. That's what the father had said. So all these people came in. The point is, they had a party before the Joshua fight, or a gathering like that of loads of people before the fight, and Dubois won. In the fight against Usyk, did exactly the same thing, and they lost. So is it like short-term gain, long-term pain?
Well, for every fighter is different. Me personally, me before a fight, I isolate myself, and I don't want to. I'm not, around a lot of people, but the people that's on my team. So I'm not, as far as a gathering and a party or stuff like that. No, I've never done that.
So talk me through that process when you're preparing, because obviously I've seen you in the final stages before you're getting into the ring. I was in the dressing room with you. What is that? We talk about the switch. What is that switch for you? When do you turn from civilian to boxer or fighter? When does that switch go on, and how do you know when that switch is going on?
I mean, you could have 8 to 10 weeks of training camp. As the week goes by and the fight getting closer, you get to, the more and more in the zone. But I would say for me is the week before the fight and the week of the fight. The week before the fight is like, okay, that's when you analyze and you go back and say, okay, next week I'm fighting. I did all my homeworks, and now the mental kicks in. And like in the week of the fight, when I arrived to the city or the country or the hotel, and now you like, okay, there's nothing else to do but just, you know, we get there on Sunday, and you got to stay till Saturday when you fight. The whole time, that's when you get into the zone because there's no more training. It's just stretching and skipping rope and shadow boxing. So now that's when you have to, you're thinking about everything you've done before. Uh, I ran enough? Did I train enough? Did I spar enough? This is like the time where you got to think about everything else, and then from that time, you don't do it on purpose, but what your mind is, kind of like exclude like certain people that's not in your entourage, and that's when you do it. You don't do it on purpose. You just do it. You know, it's automatic. Now, for me personally, that's how it is. I don't mean to ignore anybody or any of that. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm always to myself. Then when the press conference
The press
arrived, and you
conference.
see your opponent. Then when it's done, it's getting smaller and smaller. Then the
By
weigh-in,
the way,
that's it. When you get to the weigh-in, tomorrow we're getting it on. So
one of the greatest press conferences was you and Wilder. I'll never ever forget that press conference. The first fight, they're going to catch a case.
uh,
Looking back at that
uh,
press conference, and you think about the press conference, not so much the fight, the press conference. When you're saying the stuff that you're saying to your opponent, is it something that's you've maybe thought about the night before, or you thought about it moments before, or is it just something that's naturally coming out? What is that?
no, for that particular, like, that fight. I mean, they came and told me I gotta spice it up, and I gotta this fight has to sell, and I gotta, because I'm pretty much a quiet guy. I'm not
Go
really
on, go on.
but if you want me to turn it up, I could turn it up. But it was never anything personal. you know, and I gotta make it seem like it's real. so so there was what better way to do it than to start talking, talking
Right.
smack. You talk smack, and then there's just you get some more, a few hundred more, a few thousand that would buy the fight or look at the fight because of what they saw in the press conference.
I mean, why you take that stupid smile off your face?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, you gotta, as long as it sell, right?
Yeah, of course, of
As
course,
as long as it
and,
sell.
between yourself and Wilder at the time, because that was your biggest rival, wasn't it? Deontay Wilder, was you had the two fights with him, was it not?
Yeah.
So, I mean, was it really that personal between yourself and Wilder, or was it just the fact it was his business?
No, me. It was never. It was never personal, but I had to make it seem like it was personal.
Of course. And he's when this
if
is
it's
all
not,
when
if it's not personal, if you don't make it seem like it's personal, I mean, you know, that's what people like to see. That's why how you look at it is I'm not as bad as people like Mayorga.
oh yeah,
Mayorga,
no,
will-
yeah.
Mayorga will make you buy a fight.
Yeah.
you know, I'm not that bad.
I don't like my
Mayorga was
crazy. He
you
was
know
another level. He
yeah
didn't even touch your wife. He touched your wife as well. I mean, you remember
mm.
what he did to Moses' missus?
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah,
God.
yeah. No, but they told him to do that because I was there.
What, really?
Yeah, that they told him to do that
Oh,
to sell the fight.
wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. See, there's a lot of people that don't know it because they told him to kind of like, and if you go back and watch the press conference or whatever, or the weigh-in,
Yeah,
when he touched her, he didn't really touch her, and it was like
that little tip.
it was like a touch, but it wasn't a touch,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
whatever.
get it.
It was all fake.
But Mayorga, I remember Mayorga fighting Cotto, and he was fighting De La Hoya.
Same,
All them fights.
yeah,
Same
but
almost.
you have
He's
to
a
fight,
character, isn't he?
even though he loses and loses and loses, but he always come back
Loses,
and talk shit.
come
So
back.
people
Character.
people want to see like, hey, what if he wins? He might win, but he's something to watch. I
He
remember
is. He is.
Emmanuel Augusta.
Augustus, the
Yeah,
drunken master, the
he
fighter.
he
Yes.
had he had more losses than win, but I always enjoy watching him.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Always enjoy. I didn't even care that I knew he was going to lose, but I just want to, you know, he's fun
See
to
him fight.
watch.
Some guys are like
Yeah.
that in boxing. Um, so while I'm on the subject of Wilder, a few things I noticed, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on the fact that obviously Wilder's got Don House in his camp. Obviously, Don House was a former trainer of your own. There's that there, and also the fact that Wilder's made his comeback now. What are your thoughts on your former rival and his comeback and how he looked in his last fight?
I haven't seen one saw was
You had the Sang
Fury
fight,
fight.
the Parker
I
fight.
mean, no, the Fury fight.
That's the last thing you saw Wilder fight.
I mean, in person,
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
because I was there in Vegas. Um, that that wasn't the one before.
The third one, the
Either
last fight.
either the second or the third one, I was there in person, and yeah. Um, And after that, it was only highlights that I saw. Probably the last time I actually saw a highlight or a few rounds when he fought Parker.
Right. What do you think of the
Uh,
Parker fight?
uh, I mean that was the only way to Parker would have won. Just go in there and just don't let him breathe and smother him. No, it
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't boxing. Parker didn't box anything. He just went in there and just do what he
Took it
had to
to
do.
Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to ask you, how important is it? Because you see a lot of fighters, as soon as they lose a fight, they change trainers. How important is it to stay loyal to one trainer, in your opinion, or to stay, yeah, or how important, yeah, consistency?
Smart man. How important? How important?
Oh, I was meant to ask you about obviously House being with Wilder as well now.
So what?
House, he's training with Wilder. He's in Wilder's camp now.
Oh, I know.
Don House.
I know that. I know. I I know. I know before. I know before.
Hmm.
While he was with me, I just didn't
With
take it
you.
serious. I
Uh
just
huh.
didn't take it. I just didn't take it serious. I just thought people was
Uh
just
huh.
saying. What- I just thought it was people hating. I never really took
Listen
that.
to them.
Yeah, listen to them or saying that they used to
Hashtag.
talk on the phone.
Hold on.
They
Hold on.
used
Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it, Boone. Hashtag noted. It's okay.
to. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I, what can I say? We don't. Everybody don't hold loyalties to everybody. You see what I'm saying?
I hear that. Yeah, I
We
hear that.
you pick and choose who you want to be loyal to. That goes for everybody. You know, some people are lucky to be loyal to a certain type of people, and others are not. But as far as um, I think I cannot say that I haven't been loyal because I have um, been loyal so many times. I lost uh, uh, endorsement. I lost managers. I lost. I lost. You know, a bunch of stuff because of your loyalty. You know, but you live and you learn. I can't. And these are not things that they lose that you lose that you can't get back later on in life. I have no regrets. I'm very thankful and grateful for my journey um, with anybody or with the house or I had some great moments with house. Um, you know, made me a champion from scratch.
Yeah. Let me ask you this
and
question.
probably and probably won't probably have the opportunity to relieve that again.
Yeah. Well, it happened.
But otherwise, but I really do appreciate everything, and I'm really thankful. So I don't have anything you know to say negative about
Yeah.
anybody, and all I can say is hey, uh, thank you. You know.
Absolutely. Well said. So let's talk about the current era we're in now, 2025. The The rise of Turkey Alo make a fight. Turkey Alo Sheikh. And the what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it. I mean, when it comes to boxing, I think he's doing you know, can I say, there's more fights. You got, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, keeping boxing alive. Um, obviously, every fighter. What what we are here to do is to fight. Yeah, you always see fighters that's looking to fight or do something or whatsoever. So I think him coming in and taking over. I didn't know he was going to take over. He was going to take over. But what he's been doing, as far as boxing, I think it's quite a job to have cards like this everywhere in the world. I think they had a card in the middle of Times Square in New York or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So as far as boxing, I think he's doing a good job as far as
The heavyweight
you know.
the heavyweight division, obviously Michael Hunter was meant to fight Jarrell Miller and he was meant to fight Pulev. He's gonna fight none of them now. So he was double booked and he's not gonna fight any of them.
But what I heard was there was a purse bid
Yes.
um, between Hunter and Pulev. I think King won the purse bid. I'm not sure what happened.
I think Pulev
Hunter
now Pulev's team said
Hunter
they are moving on.
Hunter was
Yep. Yeah, there was a cease and desist. And I heard about that. And then I heard that Pulev's team put something in and they said, well, we're moving on now from the whole Hunter fight. They're going to make a defense, I think, in Bulgaria, I think, of the WBA title. That's what I understand. Oh, by the way, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Don King. I do have to mention that.
Oh yeah, I heard it was. I think it was sometime last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw. I saw Mauricio posted something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So tell me, what do you think of the new Mike Tyson?
The new Mike Tyson. Who we talking
Yeah, the
about?
new Mike
Mike
Tyson.
Tyson.
No, the
Mike
new Mike
Tyson.
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 No, the new Mike Tyson.
Who's the new Mike Tyson?
The new Mike Tyson just fought Dillian White. Moses Italma.
I wouldn't call him Mike Tyson. When you
But
say
that's how
new
that.
Mike Tyson, you
That's what they're
when
selling. That's how they're selling him in the UK. The new Mike Tyson.
I mean, for him to be Mike Tyson, he would have to have the style of Tyson, first of all. And he is southpaw or something.
Yeah, he's southpaw and he's young. I think he's 20 years old.
Well, he's not Tyson. He ain't champion yet, and he's 20. But I've seen him. He's he's pretty good.
I
He's pretty
mean,
good.
pretty good, do you mean pretty good that he can fight Usyk in the next fight?
No, too much of a hype. Too fast. Too not Usyk. That's way too. See that this is where fighters get hurt. And I'm pretty sure he has been told, well, you're 20 years old and you could beat this and you could beat that. You could, stuff like that. The same shit I used to hear when I was coming up, you know. And can he fight Usyk? Yeah, a few rounds, but can he beat Usyk? No.
He said that he's got a skill set that's better than Usyk, in his opinion, and he thinks he's the best heavyweight in the world right now.
Which is what you're supposed to say. That doesn't mean that
It's the
you're
facts.
supposed to think like that. You're supposed to speak like that, of course. You know, but till he
But you tell
fights,
me a real
I
name.
mean, yeah, a real name, and do it like you're supposed to be doing. Not that he's not going to be champion because he has all the skills to be champion, but I just don't think that those skills are out like they should be right now.
Tell me, as an experienced fighter, a guy who's fought in the Olympics as well, tell me, or World Championships, tell me when you're looking, when you make an assessment as to what a good fighter is, and you just pull this hype away, what are you looking for in the ingredients of a good fighter?
I would say mindset. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, really. The mind is all you can see. Even when you get a newcomer or you get new fighters, you can see a fighter that's hungry and the fighter that's disciplined, and it's you can't hide that. Any fighter that's hungry, any fighter that's disciplined and wants to be a champion is right there. It's written all over his face.
I remember you saying something to me, and it still rings in my ears today. Even this minute of time, I remember you saying it. You were talking about Anthony Joshua and about being in Miami, and you said about him coming to America, and you were saying it's not a good move for him being in Miami and stuff. You thought that it would not bode well for him, and your words rang true, as I thought they would. What was
Yeah,
it you saw then? What was it that you saw then that was
the
foretelling the
lifestyle,
future?
the lifestyle, the lifestyle is different. Lifestyle in anywhere in America is different than the UK or any other country. Different than Canada. Different. No, this the same thing I said about what's his the fighter. I like him a lot. The Mexican fighter. That was supposed to fight Canelo, the tall
Benavides.
kid. Yes, and I said that same thing, and I heard he moved to Miami, and I said, "Oops, should not be in Miami."
What is it about Miami in particular that's not good for fighters, in your opinion? Wait, you're breaking up. Say it again. You're breaking up. Say that again. Wow. Right.
There's nobody. You know, go up in Florida, go to Pensacola, go to not
Mm.
Miami. Miami is not a place for any
Athlete,
professional
boxer.
boxer or a combat sport to come and train. Stay away from Miami.
What are the pitfalls apart from
The
the
who?
women? The pitfalls apart from the women. What else?
No, it's everything. It's all in one bag. Whether it's women, whether it's gambling, whether it's club or anything. Stay away from Miami.
Wow.
Away.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Interesting.
Miami. Don't do it.
But if you're in Miami, it's different because you're used to it. It's like you'll
No,
be
no, no.
sensitized to it.
I say that to fighters that's from Europe, that's from Canada, that's from
Puerto
New
Rico?
England Islands. Do not come and do not come to Miami. People that it's nothing. Lifestyle is something we see every day. People that lives over there. You go to Miami and you it's just something that you have back home, something that you see every day. But people that don't live here, I don't, I wouldn't even suggest to go to Miami.
Okay. All right.
It's not. It's not. It's
Let's.
not. It's not. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking. Miami is a beautiful place. You know, Miami is home to me. But as far as professional sport, combat sport, and especially when you are on your way to the top, or if you at the top, stay away from Miami.
All right. What would you advise a young heavyweight boxer coming through the ranks? What would be your advice to them on their way to that journey to become heavyweight champion of the world? What would be your advice to them?
Today, I don't know because boxing has changed so much. Boxing is not when I was coming up, it was way different than even before I was coming up. Um, Today is way different, too different. It's sometimes you ever look at it or you turn it, you keep turning. That's how I look at boxing right now. I don't Just certain things I don't understand, and you know, it's not the same. The game has changed. I feel like the bigger fight are not as big as it should be. Um, it's just not what it is. It's just
But
huge today would be Canelo and Benavides, but then Canelo Benavides won't sell as much as
can you imagine? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you have mega fights like De La Hoya and Trinity. Oh my God, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was all like there was a mega fight. When Tyson came back and fought Lewis, or when Tyson fought Evander Holyfield, that was like it was huge fights.
Peak, peak.
Nowadays, you know, you get you could just bring Mickey Mouse and she fight somebody that's uh, you could bring in any Miss Piggy or Mickey Mouse and they fight somebody and that all of a sudden it's a mass mega and it's just
Not the same.
it's unfortunate. You know,
Let me ask you this.
fighters in my days and before we have to pay our dues. We have to fight amateur, Golden Gloves, Silver Gloves, National, Olympic, the World, Commonwealth, Pan Am Games, and stuff like that. Then turn pro. Not today. Today you got you got those so-called fighters that skip the line, and all of a sudden they fight the number one uh, guy that's in that category that they fight. So I just feel so sometimes it's unfortunate when you got a lot of fighters that do their homework for like many years, and those fighters been there for the past 10, 12, 15 years. They haven't had a payday or a title shot. But then Thor, just because he's Thor, skip the line and then have a fight with. That's just it's
I
unfortunate.
hear that. It is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Which leads me into the
Yeah.
next conversation. What do you think about a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight?
I like the weight fighting the cruiserweight. No, I don't think it's. See, the problem is not heavyweight fighting lightweight, this, that, and this. It's just that that's what boxing is today. I think Ali made a. Did he do a exhibition with Hulk Hogan or something like that?
He did a wrestling matchup with somebody, a wrestler
Yeah,
before.
yeah. But I was one exhibition, and then after that, you know,
End of his
it wasn't
career.
that often. It wasn't
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
often. It wasn't that often, and it wasn't that popular. But nowadays, today, that's what sells right now. You could pay, you could put you could put fucking
Ngannou,
Ngannou against uh
Joshua.
uh Joshua or Fury. I think it was unfair. It wasn't fair for these guys that pay their dues, and for them to. Shouldn't be uh you know involved or anything like that. You want to do an exhibition, then it's just exhibition, or just make a league for that, and you know
Let it be. Yeah, yeah. Hey.
yeah, you know
How did you feel when Mike was fighting Jake Paul?
Mike.
Tyson?
I mean, did I want Mike to kick his ass? Of course I wanted to, but then you know everybody knew what would happen if Mike was.
Mike landed that
uh,
punch.
okay. If not even remember when Mike fought Roy Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
If that Mike was there that night, it
There's
was it
been
was just a
problems.
couple. It was just a couple years short. Couple years
I
short.
heard that. Well, Stacy told me that Mike was told in no uncertain terms in the contract, if you land a punch on Jake, you knock Jake out, you're not getting paid. That was in the contract. So Mike had to pull his punches when he fought Jake. That's what Stacy was telling
I've
me yesterday.
I've seen a lot of stuff like that. Then I seen a slow motion where Mike was Jake
Throwing a gun
threw a
for a punch.
jab for a punch, and Mike he was wide open, and Mike was about to throw the right hand, but then it looked like he held back. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
But in your professional opinion, it didn't look right, right?
In my professional opinion, these two bozos don't belong in the world of boxing. These two brothers. Just
Jake and the other one.
yeah, like we do this for real. Like we do this for real. We do this for real. They'll never know what it likes to go fight and do a 4 round for $500 or do a 8 rounds for $2,000. Like fighters go through that, you know. Fighters go through these kind of things, and then they it's a step-by-step process, you know. Now, you know, they turn boxing into a circus, you know.
What happens when they jump the queue? In your opinion, what happens when you jump the queue? Like a Moses Atama example, will jump the queue because he's young and he looks good and jumping straight to a heavyweight championship world fight. What happens with fighters like that when they skip the queue and they don't do things properly?
Don't last long. Never last long. You can't
Why?
in boxing. There's one thing in boxing. You can skip the line, but once you get on,
There's a lot of playing going on. Problem Jake Paul, I can't remember your one's called.
I don't know boxing and don't know nothing about boxing. But when you look at these guys, it looks like they're doing something and they're
Do
getting ready
you?
for a fight. And you know, they
I
they look like they look like it's real life, and it's not.
The
It's
thing
so
about
not.
it is
Like
when you get
it's
people online, people say that Jake Paul would have beaten Muhammad Ali. I can't. You,
yeah, but
wait,
listen again. They're fan. They have a lot of fan. They have a lot of a lot of
delusional fans, uneducated.
network. You know, that goes again for the network. You know, they get Netflix or Amazon that does the jump on them, which is another racial thing. You know, because fighters the fighters that are extraordinary, they don't get deals like that. But they're black. You know, they that goes again with that kind of stuff. You know.
I hear it. I hear it. I hear it.
It's just I just think these two brothers are the cancer of boxing. But you can't. They're very smart. You know.
Let me ask. Let me ask you this
Would
question.
I would I do it? Would I do it if it works? Of course I would. Of
So
course
if
I would.
Jake Paul said,
I,
if Jake Paul said to, I want to fight I want to fight Bermane Stiverne for what he said to me on this interview. I want to fight him. Yeah, I want to show him that I'm real. I'm the real deal. Would
but
you take a fight against Jake Paul?
of course I would, because that's the game today. The game changed, and that's the game.
There? Okay, let's go. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still there. Yeah. Just trying to refresh the connection. Go ahead.
But that is the game today. This is the game. Anybody that still fight, that used to fight, and they want to fight again, or whatever it is today, the game of boxing. That's what it is right now. So you just gotta embrace it, and or don't come in at all. Stay away from it, or
So would you say it's more about
just
if you can fight, it's okay, but most importantly, if you can entertain, it's more important than if you can fight.
that's what to
I
buy
mean,
entertainment.
it's almost like
What
saying,
people wants to see.
if you can't fight, it doesn't matter. We can work around that. But if you can entertain and put bums on seats and fight, we can do things in fights. We can put in bigger
Of course,
clubs. We can fix the contracts.
of course. When Paul Jake Paul fought Fury,
Yes.
everybody in the world of boxing knew what was going to happen. He was going to lose.
Yep.
And now I bet you he won't do none of that. He'll take a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He'll take that. You see what I'm saying? He'll
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know. But tell him to go tell him to go fight a actual top 10 fighter, the one that's hungry, the one that's been waiting.
So why do you think he was trying to push Angle for the Joshua fight then? Because
It's all about
that seemed
money.
like,
But some see that's what I was trying to say earlier when we were talking. Again, it's money. Okay, I go in there. He's bigger than me. On paper, he's supposed to kill me. He's been the world champion. I never been. So even if I lose, I still look good because that's what was supposed to happen.
to be honest, there's some people that think that Joshua might throw that fight away because the amount of money he's getting paid, and that will elevate Paul's career. What are your thoughts on that?
Mhm. That he might not take the fight up the fight.
No, that Joshua would take the fight and then go to the
I
script
mean,
and say, well, he loses the fight.
yeah, but any fighter who fight these kind of guys, it's to make a good check. They bring the money in, and you know. But as far as have those guys on your record, as if to say that, oh yeah, I beat such and such. That's not. It's not. It's not credible.
On the
The,
subject
the
of
the only thing
credibility,
the
gone.
only thing you're gonna the only thing that you're gonna the only credit you're gonna have is a nice check.
On the subject of credibility, the beautiful, the amazing Layla Ali said if she
Mm.
was given 15 million, she would fight Carissa Shields. What are your thoughts on that?
They went and got that 15 million within 24 hours.
In this era, you can't make them kind of comments. 50 million's
Uh-huh.
cheap in this era. You can't make those comments in this era because in this era, they'll find the money.
Uh, if I was later, if I would do it,
You wouldn't do it. Why?
last time later fought was what? Like how many years ago?
15, maybe 15 years ago?
Yeah. And then Carissa has been active, and we all know she's aggressive. He Mm, well, I wouldn't do it.
Okay,
I wouldn't do it.
okay, okay. I want to
Especially just I wouldn't do it also because of the
legacy,
name,
Ali.
yeah, the legacy of the Ali, the name of my father or whatever. I wouldn't do it.
I hear that. I hear that.
See, when you ask for that kind of money and they come back to you as fast as they did, come on now. Some areas it was a setup. It had to be a setup because Who finds $15 million that quick? As soon as she gave a number, they came back with the exact number the next day,
Straight away the next day.
and
I,
everybody was sitting on the table as if they was just waiting.
I find it quite funny. But
everybody
I was thinking,
everybody was sitting on the table at the meeting, and then they gave her this exact number, the exact number she asked for. I bet you later she, damn, I should have said 25. But me personally, nah.
yeah, but that's the second
I
time that's
mean, nah.
happened. Do you remember when Joshua was sitting
Yeah,
in the? Joshua said the
that's
same thing.
too long break, too long of a break. Like 15 years. That's way too long.
Yeah, connections breaking up. Yeah,
Been, tune up to see how it's going. Couple fights. That's easy fights. But nah. I mean, she could do it, but me personally,
you wouldn't take it.
nah, not gonna happen.
Okay. Uh, Crawford, Canelo. I know we talked about it earlier. I'll keep my comments to myself. Your thoughts?
Crawford.
Oh, don't let what I said to you. By the way, don't. Okay, good. I don't
Crawford.
want. Okay, good. Okay.
Crawford. I still stand with Crawford.
Okay, you stand with Crawford. That's okay.
But
That's all right.
you reminded me that it was something I never thought about. It was three different classes. So
Light
it,
middleweight, super
I'm
middleweight.
not
Nice.
changing
Well, he's
I'm
yeah,
not changing my I'm not changing my pick. I'm just
yeah.
it's gonna be it will be a little tougher, but I know Crawford could pull it out.
You know, everybody that backs Crawford for this fight is using their imagination. They're using what they think might happen. But they don't know. Nobody knows what Crawford's going to do at that weight division. Whereas Canelo, we all know what Canelo's going to bring. So we'll imagine it. It's like, you know what, you play a video game, you say, right, with a video game, we'll put him up in weight and we'll do this and that and that. In a video games like Fight Night or Undisputed, you say, right, okay, he's going to move from the weight class and we just fight and we use the same skill set and we move up a weight. And yeah, you don't make much of a
Well,
difference, but it's going to make a lot of difference.
I still stand with my man.
I know. I understand. I get it. I get it.
I still stand with him.
Just like I stood with Dillian White.
I,
Oh, wait, just like I stood with Dillian White.
I don't I don't see it. I don't see it. I see Crawford not as strong, not as strong. I don't see him KO Canelo. I just see him like,
Schooling him.
yeah, like Lara.
Okay, well, okay. Or like Leonard against Hearns, Hagler. Go on. Go on.
I mean, he didn't speak. I mean, Hagler and Leonard was
That's what you're talking about. A
Hagler.
fight.
No, but no, it wasn't that. I mean, Hagler and Leonard was head to head. They were going at it. You know, I don't know. Canelo, I don't see Canelo touching Crawford like that. Crawford is too agile, too
Of course.
smooth,
Yeah, at welterweight.
too clean.
At welterweight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now put 20, 30 pounds on his back and tell him to move all them, make them same moves.
I don't know. That's how I see it.
Well, it's
And
going to
then
be we
Canelo
haven't
gonna be
got
the
long to wait.
Canelo gonna be the bigger dude, the bigger guy, the
Again.
slower guy.
Yeah.
No, but that's more for Crawford. Crawford gonna be. I don't know. If there's a knockout, Canelo is knocking him out.
Okay.
If it goes 12 round, Crawford.
You really think they'll give Crawford a decision on the cards? Crawford over Canelo?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, bro. You got faith in the
Yeah.
judges, man. I got no faith in the judges. If that goes
I
to points, it's Canelo. Unless he gets
no,
punched up
no. But that's what I'm saying. He will get spanked all night.
all
I
night.
I say I said the first 3 rounds is gonna be like really close, close, close. After that, 4, 5, 6, especially 7, 8, 9, Crawford will start
That is
spanking
that is if that is if he's still on his feet, yeah? That is if he hasn't been knocked out by then, right?
him.
That is if he's able to absorb the that is if he's got that is if he's got a super middleweight light heavyweight chin, of course. We'll see. I haven't got long to wait. It's going to be a fascinating fight. I just wish there was more promotion because the promotion is garbage.
Paul. Taking Paul
Oh
getting
god.
getting way more promotion than this. This is a mega fight as well.
Powers that
Unfortunately,
be.
unfortunately, um, they're not gonna get as much as that much exposure.
There's something I was going to actually ask you in terms of after boxing. Would you ever see yourself as a boxing pundit or analyst?
Well, I never thought of it. Um,
Like for
I
Haitian
never thought of.
TV example or something like that, where they bring you into like when there's fights on, they bring you in the TV station to talk about fights. I've done it, so if I can do it, I'm
I mean,
sure you could do it.
yeah, I could do it, but I never done it.
Well, you talk
Never
about
done it,
boxing,
so
so you've got so much wisdom in boxing. There's so many things you talk about. You drop these, and the way you do it, you drop these little. You
never.
don't. You drop little seeds of wisdom.
I never really done it. I mean, no. Matter of fact, I never done it. Yeah, it would be interesting to do something like that.
What about that? What about podcasts like the Beware podcast, like once a week or
No,
once a
I'm
month?
not. I'm not. No, I'm not good. If I do that, I would have to have a host, a co-host.
Oh, no worries. Well, there's always a young
I'm
man
not.
there's always a young man in London
Yeah,
that
but
can
I'm
help
not.
out.
I'm not the type. I'm
Yeah, I
not the
know.
type like to. You know, I would have to have a co a co-host or something.
I think you do all right. I think you underrate yourself in that. I think you do quite well. Look, think about this. WBC heavyweight champion of the world, first Haitian heavyweight champion of the world. You should be the ambassador, or if you're not already the ambassador for Haitian boxing, you should be on all the any boxing shows. You should be like
Mhm.
you know, you should be
But
that guy.
there's so much. There's so many podcasts now. Ever since COVID is the reason why we got so much podcast right now.
Yeah, but the thing
You
is, you'd
know,
be coming from a place of a man that's seen it and done it and got literally got the t-shirt and the belt. Do you understand?
yeah. I mean, they say don't ever knock it.
You know, me, Bermane. The amount of things I've suggested to you. You know me. I'm always suggesting things to you. All right.
Yeah.
To close things off. Closing thoughts. Uh, again, it's great to see you. It's great to talk with you again. Closing thoughts for people listening to the interview, and something you want to share about, anything you want to share before we. Oh, yeah, there is something you just share with us.
What's that?
Boxing, boxers. Are we talking about? Or are we not talking about that now?
What? What?
Would you? Okay, let's put this. Would you ever? I left the question to last. Would you ever, in the Turkey Al Sheikh era, would you ever consider? I can't even say you've retired. Would you ever consider coming back?
I never, I never, I never retired.
Exactly. So that's my point. You never retired, so it's like
I never made a statement the way I retired.
so. If the price is
The
right,
door, I always left that door open, but then I would have to. There's just certain things that I told myself and promised myself if ever that would happen. So is the real conversation uh, that I have to have is with myself.
right?
You know, and then you know, but you know, um,
You're well rested.
very very well, very well. Been active. I've been you know um, I've been doing a lot. So um, I don't I don't have any issues or um, any problem with getting back in the ring. If I do, it has to be quick. I ain't got that much time in front of me. And
Yeah.
I don't plan on I don't plan on doing that, forever either. Um, I could say maybe two more or three at the most.
So if Turkey's got a price, then you'd come back. I think I've always thought, in my humble opinion, I've always thought they should be a Masters League for fighters that are not quite finished, but like a Masters League, so you could all kind of. What would have happened if he had fought him or he had fought him? Like when James Tony fought Razor Ruddock, it was nice to see that because that I still thought that was a great fight.
You call it the grudge league.
I just call it Masters League, the League of Masters.
Yeah,
Guys who have
that's a
fought
good one.
the Masters League, yeah, and then you come in, you fight for the Master title. You get a Masters in football, you get a Masters in cricket, you get a Masters in basketball. All the old players come back and they play matches. You can't play
Yeah,
boxing, so bigger gloves, um,
yeah.
smaller rounds. Would you do something like
That'll
that?
be yeah, of course.
I'd love to be a part of something like that because that's an opportunity for fighters to sell merchandise. You can get to know all the old fighters' merchandise, get to know what they fight, watch their past fights,
I mean, it's
and
it's
then they
it's
fight
not
as
it's
well.
it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Like I
I
said
think it should be
before,
done.
boxing isn't the same as decades ago. So anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Okay,
You
anything is
see, you
possible. That's
see,
a good way to.
you see how the exhibition or more of have more impact than a make a world championship fight. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
yeah. We've
and
seen it.
who would have thought
Before I go, I've got to ask you about the Dillian White fight with Moses Atalma, because I've got my thoughts on the fight. I wanted to know what your thoughts were.
I haven't put my finger on it about how what happened to Dylan White. I mean, obviously something was off. Even though he lost, he could have lost, but not like that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, something must have happened. I don't know,
I
because
mean, I looked at him when
I never seen him like that. It's just the way that he, even when he was getting pounded on the rope, the way that he was protecting himself, it was kind of weird.
yeah,
It was very weird.
I said to myself watching that fight after the fight. You know, when a guy loses a fight, you can okay, he lost the fight, fair enough. But there was this feeling in me, like just totally unsettled, really
Hmm.
unsettled. You know, like when you
Hmm.
hear about certain people passing away in the news, and certain people pass say, "Yeah, he's old." I get that, and then you hear people pass, and you think, "No, that don't feel right. Something's not right about that passing. That person died. It
Hmm.
don't feel right in your system, the spirit." That same sort
Right.
of feeling I had when White lost the fight. That same sort of unsettled feeling that this don't feel right. There's some questions about this fight. I don't not take anything away from Atalma, but just his whole body language, the whole yeah. Wow. Okay. But
I
man,
guess that would be a question. That would be a question to ask him.
maybe, possibly, if you'd
Yeah.
answer it. Remain,
Hmm.
as always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your insight. Really appreciate it. The connection's been a bit annoying at times, but otherwise, it's been great to hear from you. And if
It's
there is
always a
any news
pleasure.
of or if there any news of a potential stroll back to the ring,
You'll be the first one to
uh,
know.
yeah, I will be the first to know. I will be keeping my eyes especially open now.
No, what I will say, there is,
Uh,
there is, but you'll be the first one to know the date.
the date.
You'll be
Woohoo!
the
Oh, I'll do it on behalf of
let's just
Dillian
put
White.
the.
Oh,
Uh, I mean, yeah, you can tell. I just came back from the gym, so yeah,
don't keep us waiting too long, champ.
yeah.
Don't keep us waiting too long.
No, not too long, not too long. But one thing is, one thing I can confirm is I am
You are. You are.
getting ready.
You're what? The connections went. So the connection went. What did you say? You are. You could be getting ready to go to a dance. You get ready to go to a dance. You could be ready to go to a fete. You could be going to a carnival. You could be getting ready to get something to eat.
No, I'm getting ready. I'm getting back in the ring.
Well, you could be getting back in the ring, and you could be a referee. You could get back as star referee. You could get back in the ring as a ring announcer. You could be a manager.
No, you can be a lawyer. the way you ask the questions, you can be a lawyer, a prosecutor.
You know me too well. You know me too well. Wow. So yeah. Well, we look forward to it. We look forward to being on that journey. However short, however long that journey will be for you on that comeback, we are excited to hear about it. Thank you so much for letting us know this.
Appreciate it. Always a pleasure.
Bermane, thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to the viewers before we finish?
Well, viewers, thank you for being always faithful to to uh, 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 I think a few times they were able to ask questions and stuff, but it's always good. Um, and without any sport in the world, whether it's boxing or football, or basketball, or cricket, the fans are the one that you know support athletes, fighters. If there's no fans, there's no such
Sport.
thing as sports. You know, always good to have fans around the world.
Bermane, thank you so much once again.
Yes, sir. It was a pleasure.
Take care.
I see. You haven't spoke about my.
I thought I'd leave that one for now.
uh,
Let's just hope that when you make the comeback, that I don't know, maybe you
nah,
could go the whole.
on my comeback, it'll be back black.
Okay. Okay. We're looking forward to it.
All right.
Take care.
Yes, sir.